Right, so this is a quick video where Dave picked me up in his Cayman because mine has currently got no MOT, and we met up with some of the Cayman lads down at the Yondermann Cafe in the Peak District. I keep calling it Ponderosa, which is obviously Wales. So this GT3, you see him, the young man has only just bought that. This next car is a silver 987. Has probably had the most money spent on it of all the cars you're going to see. We might explain that another time. This other silver car is Dave's. I'll go on to explain more about the spec of Dave's car a little bit later on. And then this is Andrea's car. And Andrea, I believe, is a car designer by trade, so he's got some funky bits on there that he's designed himself. So it's quite a famous car, that if you want to Google it or whatever, you'll see it all over the internet. And that's pretty much it. There's not too much more to tell you. Obviously that other silver Cayman, I think, has had about 35 grand spent on it with full resprays and Cayman Air wheels and things like that. And yeah, the car that you can see drive in is actually a twin turboed 2.7. It's over 400 brake horsepower. I forget the exact figure, but yeah, we can always discuss that another time. And that's pretty much all there is to see. So on to talking about Dave's car. See you in a bit. We're in Dave's car now. This is Dave, and Dave's car is a Cayman, the same as mine. It's basically exactly the same, not spec wise, but as a base car it's a Cayman S, 6-speed manual, blah blah blah. But Dave's got a lot of the bits on what I'm looking to do to mine, so there's plenty more. This isn't an exhaustive list, but the interesting bits for me are, he's got the diff, a wave track diff. Got the light flywheel, up-rated clutch, and as you can see, these bucket seats from Carrera GT, or replicas anyway. Definitely the camera's going wonky, but either way they're nice. And then this roll cage. So the roll cage, honestly, I don't know if you can actually feel it makes anything stiff or any of that nonsense. So, but it gives you the impression when you're in the car that you're in a race car, or you're in something nicer, club sport type car. The seats definitely make a big difference. They hug you when you're coming out of the Benz, which we all know what bucket seats do, but it's just interesting to feel them, isn't it? Like I said, I've felt that difference in my KA before. They just keep you where you want to be, so it'll be a little bit less exhaustive trying to hang on as you're flying around corners. But that aside, the fun bits really, I think, of that flywheel. It revs up so much quicker, doesn't it, Dave? Yeah. Over a standard car. It wakens the whole thing up. It's exactly where you want it to be. You know, it's, apart from the noise, I can see why they don't put them in standard cars, because it's a bit rattly. But I'm not bothered about that. And for the difference it makes in the drive, I think the trade-off's well worth it. You obviously agree, I would assume, because you've done it.
Definitely. It can get a bit annoying around town at low RPMs, but the benefit is just...
Yeah, when you're pressing on, you don't care, do you, about the noise? In fact, I think it adds to it, because you feel like, again, you're in a race car, you know, all them rattling noises and stuff. I think it adds to it. But again, I understand that it's not going to be for everyone. And then we've got the diff, which again, on the road, and we've not been pushing on too hard, although we are up in the Peak District. But I don't know, I do feel like there's a subtle difference there. I was just explaining to Dave, then I definitely feel like coming off some of the roundabouts, it definitely feels a full 2 rear wheel drive as opposed to ever so slightly 1 wheel drive with the open diff. on my car, so that makes a difference. And then obviously he's got coilovers as well, so it's dead low, a different sort of riding position, but they're not stiff, they're really supple and compliant really as far as coilovers go. Obviously we have to watch out for some bumps and speed bumps and all that sort of stuff, so it's considerably lower, but other than that, it still feels like a proper, again, almost like you would expect if there was a 987 GT4. It's really a compliant ride, isn't it? So again, there's some other stuff, he's done some brake upgrades and all that sort of stuff, and it really adds to the car, and it's exactly where I want to be. So I'm convinced now that all these bits that Dave's done on this thing is what I need to do to mine. Literally exactly the same seats, same roll cage, same everything. They're going to be virtually identical. And then obviously he's got an exhaust, so that's a little bit louder and nicer. Like I say, just a few bits, but it all adds up to a nice little package ultimately to make a really nice road car. I think it's where the Cayman should always have been, power wise, performance wise maybe we should say. It just feels faster and nicer and alive, as opposed to a little bit mundane, which I now find mine is. So anyway, that's it, we've babbled on for a little bit. I'll cut back to some shots from when we're in the car park with some of the other cars and things like that, and then that's today's video really. So that's going to be the last one of the year, because obviously it's a new year tomorrow, and we'll see what 2025 brings. Right, see you in a bit.